Bunny Nerdigans, this is the one only Packer Girl 89. Today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Goblin Slayer Side Story Year 1, chapters 25 through 28. So, last time I covered this manga, we met the Archmage of Electricity, and boy, was she sparking. Anyway, we took the ring over to her, and, Goblin Slayer has laid out his conditions. Let's get to this chapter and see what happens next. It's getting pretty late. Stop by tomorrow morning-ish. When is morning? I'm not sure exactly, but if I'm too early, I'll just wait. It's open. Come in. It's your nickname, Goblin Slayer. I'd like to keep the books away from the windows. The humidity is bad for them, but maybe it looks like I'm just playing a game. Well, I'll say this. Sages and gamblers have a lot in common. These cards are part of my research. It's similar to compiling a book of spells. Now then. You're here about your reward. You sure are an early bird. Should I wait? No, because time flows ever onward. The earlier the better if you want to get something done. But my goodness, goblin knowledge. I have to think about 7 out of 10 lonely young male novices, if given the choice, would have asked for my body. Such is my confidence in myself as a woman, you see. Well, obviously. I see. 2 out of the remaining 3 would have asked for a magical item, and only that last one, my knowledge. I see. What I'm saying is you surprise me. I see. Aren't you going to ask how I'd respond to a request for my body? Do you want me to ask? Ask away. How would you respond to a request for your body? I would put them under an illusion that gave them what they want, just what they wanted. Then a touch of an amnesia hex to make things pleasantly hazy, and off they go. I see. Is that not fraud? Value is relative, not absolute. Perhaps this conversation is meaningless. Her words may be pointless and worthless as such. What matters is what's behind them, much like, the riddle game my master used to play with me. Relative indeed. In that case, does this have value to you? Apple cider. You just gave me some yesterday, but oh, you've convinced me. No reason not to keep some around. Now, about goblins. Is that what you wanted to know about? Yes. You appeared at the perfect moment. I've been letting this slide, but it just so happens that I've agreed to help revise the monster manual. The guild asked you? They issue errata and fresh editions periodically. It's a big job. My own master asked me to help, at least with a few pages. How could I say no? Are they about goblins? Exactly, all about goblins. I want to do some dissections, observe the living being. You'll be the first to get my information, so on that note, you're a goblin slaying specialist, yes? It's a completely ordinary quest. Goblins appeared in a village just beyond the frontier. They ravaged fields, stole animals, and soon tried to attack the local girls. The young men of the village in rage wanted to assault the nest, but the village elder held them back. Don't be hasty, he said. Hire an adventurer. In other words, this is textbook. A template quest, you might even say. Yes, no girls have been kidnapped yet, but, yes. The villager's footprints were going the right way. Her rope doesn't seem to catch on the branches despite its length. Maybe more a matter of level than skill. I wonder if she has a proper rank, and if so, what it is. No, it doesn't matter. If that's the case, it means that there must be varying levels of goblin horde as well. They've just gotten established, right? Wanderers trying to kidnap women? They're looking to build their numbers until eventually they reach stage 3, destroying the village. Yes, that's how it would go. I suppose a non-prayer leader, a demon, occultist, a dark elf could get them there too. So this is some foreshadowing in main Goblin Slayer. I fucking know that. So the question is there a stage 4? We're gonna see. I got a feeling we're gonna see stage 4 in the main Goblin Slayer manga. Just have this feeling. At least I assume that's what you would ask. But I can't say I've ever heard of a horde reaching that size. They're opportunistic and violent goblins. Give them a king and infighting would start the next minute, or he'd simply be assassinated. They're adventurers too. In most cases, while recorded history has never seen a completely flawless organization, prayers are now a tomb, or more precisely, a funeral mound. Gracious, they just don't know the value of what they have. So what do you think? I'll kill him. If we wait, they might change guards, or he might get bored. He looks sleepy to me. Maybe they're nocturnal. Maybe. But I'll kill him. Why? Because sooner or later, I'll kill all the goblins. Obviously. Makes sense. Okay, then show me what you've got. Ooh. That's one. Excellent. So the throat is a vital point. I knew they weren't that different from people. They seem a bit like Rhea's, if you ask me. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't work. Need a critical hit, huh? Fascinating. Now, I'll look forward to chopping him up later. For now, let's get into that nest. Okay. What is it? They may notice the scent of a woman, huh? Well, yeah, because that's what they do. Sharp noses? Despite the obviously filthy and no doubt malodorous conditions they live in, I only know that I've sometimes been noticed, even though I'm sure I was not seen or heard. Okay, fair enough. Hang on a minute. I happen to like that robe, but this ought to do the trick. Oh, she put goblin blood on herself. What do you think? I think you'll be just fine. I smell like them now. Noses are designed to filter out familiar everyday odors. You don't notice the smells of new leather or metal, do you? No, but the goblins do. Precisely. Now let's get in there. Wouldn't we be better off without the torch? They see well at night, but I don't. You might be a little off there. Maybe humans and goblins see completely different worlds. Look, what matters for your purposes is that goblins can see in the dark, night or not. I see, not the night, but the dark. Say, do goblins use traps? There was something about it in the last monster manual. They've burst through the wall behind me before. The sound of frying bacon, huh? What? Nothing going on. Ah, I get it, because we're going into the frying pan. Think about the apparent size of the funeral mound, the width of the hall in our current location. Could the goblins break through here? We can't let down our guard. Pit traps sometimes and ambushes. Nice and simple. I suppose using the walls and floors comes naturally here. Could they use the traps in old ruins with experience? One would think not, but I never make assumptions about them. It could depend on habitat. With enough experience, areas with snow or sand could involve completely different traps. Not that there will be room for any of that in the book. Uses primitive traps. That's probably all we'll say. Let's simplify it. The stench, the claustrophobia, the cruelty, none of those details made it in. That must be true of other entries besides ones about goblins. True, the entire book's that way. I hear something besides us and the goblins. I can sense it. Something moving. Am I getting distracted? No, I don't think so. Just one or two more things to pay attention to. The filth on my boots threaten to squelch with every step. I have to be careful. Strangely, this woman's footsteps hardly make a sound. What is it? Look at this. Animal droppings. The shape is familiar. My sister taught me about them. I don't think these belong to goblins. I think you're right about that. This looks more like wolves. Do you know any spells? Please, I would hate for you to think having a fireball or a lightning bolt is all it takes to be a wizard. But then I'm the quest giver. I don't have to figure out what to do here. That's your job. I see. We haven't gone by any forks in the path. No choice but to meet them head on. So much for secrecy. Too shallow. I didn't get through the pelt. Urgh. Oh god, one murderous wolf and no sword. Ooh, no, this is not good. Alright, let's get to 25.5. If he gets my throat, if he gets to my throat, it's over. I can't reach my sword, and the first one is hit, first one I hit is getting up. Uh-oh. I'm out of time. Take this. Ooh! Ooh, he stabbed him in the eye! Next. Oh, shit. Yeah, get him, Wolf Slayer. Oh, the Wolf Slayer. Holy crap, he just fucking cut this wolf's mouth. Oh my god, phew. My, you handle yourself well. The real hard work has just begun. Arma Inflammare Afro, gift a spark to this weapon. In the name of red magic, protect your quest giver, my little goblin slayer. I shall. I will kill all the goblins. Oh god. Okay, let's get to chapter 26. Here we go. A narrow corridor. They're unlikely to get behind me. Not bad. I can meet them head on, too. 3 left that I can see. A club, a spear, a bow. The goblin I killed is in the way. He's keeping me from using my sword, so first, use the corpse to block their movement. Now I can leave that goblin for a moment. Only the spear and the bow are still mobile. Obviously, I have to kill the archer first. The other goblin is getting to his feet. I threw away my sword, but that's fine. I have the goblin dagger lodged in my shield. 4. Now just 1 left now, the spear user. If I can dodge counterattack with the dagger, the club is a safer bet. 5. My, what a show. If I'm not careful, I might just fall for you. Still... My, what a show. If I'm not careful, I might just fall for you, trying to overwhelm us with numbers alone. Very goblin-esque, but very childish. Well now, another group from the entrance. They must have come around behind us, and more from straight ahead. I see. They can't burst through the walls, but this way the effect is the same. I wonder if they had a back door. At this rate, we'll be surrounded. I have to take one of the groups out first. No, then I'd be unable to protect my quest giver. Put your back to the wall. Okie dokie. With no attacks from behind, I can protect her this way, at least so long as I'm alive. 6. See? More than just slinging fireballs, right? Enchant fire. Ooh. 7. The stench of burning flesh. 8. The odor of boiling blood. 9. Magical weapons aren't necessary for killing goblins, but they are more than enough to make the enemy hesitate. 10. I must say, though, using up a spell on a club seems awfully extravagant. The problem of stamina won't be solved overnight, but I need to keep training. How many more? Good question. Considering the village's description and the footprints by the entrance, I think we've gone through most of them by now. But you really know how to handle yourself. I really might fall in love with you. I see. Oof, what a weak reaction. If you are joking, I wouldn't want to take you seriously. I wouldn't want to take you too seriously. I don't know what to think. If I can't send a man into a tizzy with a little flirting anymore, whoops, look who's here. Or God, oh shit, a hobbin. That must be what they call a shaman. They were on their way to the second level, I suppose, which means that pillar we saw earlier must have been a totem or something. We didn't hear anything about a kidnapped village girl. A wandering traveler, perhaps? Ooh, positively awful. I wonder if she's pregnant. Well, as much as I'd love to examine the child when it was born. Look, they're terrified. With the shield, they can't lift a finger against me. Adventurers are all such idiots. Now tear them in two. Huh? You want me to go first? Of course I do. What do you think you're here for, you half-wit? See the one in the grimy armor? Go and... Just joking, but, well... I was right about the hop going first, wasn't I? I learned one thing from the other fights. These bastards don't know how to use a shield. Spell incoming. It's alright, I know. Where are the files? Whoa, did the girl just get cut in half? Oh no, he caught her. Oh, thank God. That scared me for a second. Wherever the vital points may be, yeah. Spells only come out of one place. Crushed throat. 11. Oh yeah, he did rescue the girl. Okay. Ooh, right in the dig. Judging by the reaction, the sword reached some internal organs, but I know that isn't enough to kill the likes of you. And that's 12. You, oh God, I love this final panel. It's great. All right, now we get into chapter 27. Got one more chapter after this. Ow, fuck. That's the stomach, and there's the small intestine. But I figured you know that much already. Yes. If we want to know what he's eaten, this is where we look. Here's the bladder, testicles, and here's a very vital point for you men. Big or small, it's been the bane of many women, many a woman. Looks like it's true there are no females. Not one of them has a womb or any eggs. It's nearly twilight and the night belongs to the goblins. Should we let her spend much more time on dissection? If there are any left, they might be back soon. What does she mean by that? That we should conclude our studies so as to avoid attack, or that we should ambush them so we have more to study? You wouldn't want the young lady to suffer another goblin attack, would you? It would be worse if they set upon us while I was carrying both the prisoner and the goblin corpse. Continue the dissection. Liver and kidneys roughly the same location as in a human. I don't know where they are for any other races, though. I see. Not a lot of opportunities to dissect elves or dwarves, you understand, and they so rarely manage to hang Rhea thieves. This is the liver. If you hit it, it hurts a lot. If you stab it, it bleeds a lot. As in, it would be a miracle if you survive levels of blood. Before, there was a goblin who survived, even though I stabbed him in the stomach. Why was that? Toughness. You might say hit points. I can't be sure based on hearsay, but sometimes even a fatal blow doesn't kill immediately. Or maybe the blade was blocked by muscle and fat. That makes sense. And where should I aim? Hang on a second, please. Okay, there are major blood vessels on the insides of the thighs. The windpipe is in a familiar place too. Those are your targets. The neck, the throat. Destroy the throat. That proved effective before, but if I miss, it's meaningless. I will need to practice. Oh, even like anatomy combined with practice? Speaking of, there, a saddle. Goblin riders, they were keeping those wolves as mounts. You're thinking of the battle from 5 years ago? Either they saw someone else doing it and copied them, or someone taught them. You mean the goblins stole the secret of writing? Oh my God! Things adapt to their living things adapt to their environment. Did you know people who live in cold places grow bigger, like the barbarians from beyond the northern mountains? I've heard stories. My sister used to tell them to me. She told of a courageous warrior and began. Wait, yeah, wait. It says brigade. I don't know if it's supposed to be brigade, but whatever. Spurning treasure and rulership, he had many adventures. With only the sword in his hand, he rose from slave to king, a man of greatness. A people that served steel, she said. Precisely. You know these stories? The desolate darkness in the country of night, the curse on those who dismissed his greatness as mere machismo. No, not that it matters, but my master, a lizard man. Wait a minute. A lizard man. Is that the same lizard man, maybe, that's in our group? My master, a lizard man, told me something. He claimed that long ago there was a period of terrible cold. That's the legend. If goblins have existed ever since then, these hobbs may be a throwback to their ancestors. Ooh, that's interesting. That makes a lot of sense. Hobgoblins, massive goblins, so big they almost seem like a different species. I never thought much about it. You think their increased strength is simply a product of body size? It's possible, but maybe the goblins' ancestors didn't live in caves but wandered the plains freely. After all, with enough strength, goblins do come in the field to attack villages, no? Sometimes. We can't neglect nutrition as a possible factor either. Yes, just... Goblins who ate as much as humans live like humans. A terrifying scene. Goblins are the lowest among the forces of chaos. For them to rise up in the world, they would have to wipe out all other intelligent races. Oh, say, do you know about the research into fish schools and sizes? No, I've never heard of it. Well, I don't blame you. I only learned about it from my own teacher. You have fish in schools and fish who live alone. The latter grow larger. That sounds obvious. A scholar's job is to investigate the obvious. What can you learn if you stop at the readily apparent? Growth is limited in overpopulated schools. The water polluted with excrement. The fish don't like that and happily turn on and eat each other. Veritable goblins. That's what I'm saying. You have a rather odd way of speaking. I told you my master was a lizard man, and that made me quite the scholar on various kinds of heresy. The lizardmen don't like to leave written records, though, so I decided to try to remember everything. Rays, you can't stop them from writing, and dwarves, they never talk. Elves stop it, obviously. Immortal wizards write themselves notes because their brains are rotten. I see. But the Nagas, they don't need to write things down to remember. They don't die, and they never forget. Is that so? Indeed it is. Nagas, dragons like to hoard treasure, and knowledge is a treasure all of its own. And they don't share it for free, but if you slay them, it disappears. No burglar in the world can steal the knowledge from a dragon's head. To write just one page of one book, how many wizards and sages have to pool what they know? Have you ever thought about it? Why should I have to teach some piece of garbage who's only going to be murdered by goblins? If a person ever did have a chance to share some of the dragon's knowledge, and he asked about goblins, well, he really would be a strange one. I see. I don't hear any goblin footsteps. All I hear is my own muffled breathing and my quest giver's quiet exhalations, the measured breathing of a sleeping girl, and among the reek of filth and gore, the aroma of apples. I guess the things we need to investigate are life cycle, habits, origins, variance, habitat, knowledge, intelligence, culture. Does that about cover it? I'm not interested in going beyond that personally. For example, language. Do you think there's such a thing as Goblinese? There is. Are you sure about that? It may sound like it, but those noises might just be animalistic cries, even if they seem like they're talking to each other. I've seen them point at prisoners and laugh, so their culture includes humor. What's the matter? It's a new discovery, knowledge about goblins just like you wanted. I wonder. It is. Research is really just the steady accumulation of sober, practical investigation. Draconomicon, Demonomicon, even the guide to Skaven if you're nasty. So I assume it won't be long before you write the Slayer's Guide. I don't plan to. Why not? Studying the origins of goblins might help you learn how to hunt them. And while I was doing that, goblins would be destroying villages. Moreover, I know where the goblins come from. The Green Moon. She told me so. Planeswalking, eh? That's just a story made up to scare children, or for a laugh, isn't it? I'm not laughing. There were no, more goblins. We killed them all. We needed only to get back to the village, return the girl, and go home. The infinite darkness, past the edge of this table, beyond the void, on the far side of eternity, the endless search. Well, to travel is to travel together, but I guess we, aren't all going to the same place anyway, are we? Alright, let's get to the final chapter. I'm covering, for year 1, which is chapter 28. The memories in his heart will give him the strength he needs. It's almost noon. Most of the quests are taken. Not many I could do all by myself anyway. I can't even read, actually. It wasn't supposed to be this way. She was going to teach me my letters. Stop thinking about that won't help. I'll ask up front if there are any good quests left. Cave exploration? It's just mapping out an old mine. An old mine, is it? There probably aren't even any monsters there. Let's go. Now wait just a second. Well, shit. Now I've got it done it. I've never seen these people. All, unscratched equipment. Probably just got here today. They don't know if there are monsters there. That's why, they want you to look, right? Ambush is always a possibility. You need to be careful. Yes, of course you're right. What should we do? We have to take this quest. We don't have a choice. We're almost out of money. None of them have so much as a helmet or a shield. Adventurers, huh? I have a little experience, so I know. I know how helpless and unprepared and stupid I was. I know the kind of difference just a bit of time and experience can make. But they don't know. Yet. They don't know that there are dangers out there you can't imagine. I'm telling you to go. We should go to the sewers. And how long do you think it would take to save enough for 4 people? Adventurers look out for themselves. Like anyway, you want to any way you want. Live any way you want. Prices you can die anytime. Me, them, all of us. I've earned my stripes now, sorta, but I was a lot like them before. What right do I have to talk down to them? If I knew it bothered me so much, I wouldn't have said anything at all. The plan today is a lazy afternoon of questing. Thank you very much for the advice. Didn't really feel like I was advising anyone. Aww. I guess moping's not going to help anyone. Just don't talk down to them. Be natural. Mapping out an abandoned mine, right? If you don't mind, could I? Here we go. Here it comes. It's just one, but stay sharp. There's the goblins. Yeah! But why would there be a goblin in an abandoned mine? There was some sort of battle out east. Probably came from that direction. What, through the interior? That seems like an awful lot of work. Underground you can get anywhere. I hate making her handle the front row by herself. I see, but I can't keep an eye on everyone, from up front. My weapon won't reach from second or third position. Maybe I should learn to use a spear like that guy. Teacher, what do you think? Let's see here. My nose doesn't work so well with this much dust in the air, and, whoa, he's a wolf man, and these interweaving paths make, proper, cartography difficult. Just do what you can. Doesn't have to be elaborate. Yes, indeed. I was right. He's the best mapper. Map quality will affect your reward, and he has the composure of a former lecturer. Better than some mage who'll fire off a spell the moment things get squirrely. What's up? She doesn't get it yet, and that's okay. The problem is the other two. Hey-oh, Tuttle keeps going this way. And so would she if I hadn't stopped her. Stuff it. You started crying to turn back almost as soon as we left, you cowardly tree hugger. I prefer the term prudent. We elves just have a different view of things from dwarves. One dwarf wants to be a scout, and an elf who converted to faith in the Earth Mother. I sent them ahead because they can both see in the dark, but now I realize how well they all got along. Good to see you're such good friends. Listen, I asked you to look ahead, not charge ahead. Oops. And when you're scouting, focus on that instead of arguing. Look, you went and got me scolded too. Who scolded? You started it. This from the guy who found religion when a nun rescued him from his huge gambling debts? Grr. Ooh, busted. Take it easy. Let's reform ranks and push ahead. We'll need to report the goblin down here, but our map isn't finished yet either, huh? Right. Good heavens. I don't like the smell of that. Slim and Shorty, you stay back and look after the teacher. The girl and I will be up front. Huh? What? Who and who? Teacher, get a spell ready. Verily, countless footsteps, the sink of rot, and those eyes are shining in the dark. It's a goblin horde. My helmet. It will restrict my field of vision if the battle gets fierce. Should have brought a headband at least. Those goblins, there's something big with them. Never seen one, but I've heard of them. It's a hob. The word means huge in the old tongue. Ah, the smell of poison. I see. I'll be called on for antidote, as if you had any other miracles. Don't you have better things to do than talk? Speak for yourself. I've got the best armor. I'll draw off the goblins. I'll help stop their poison taggers. So the big one, leave it to me. Rah. Ooh, God, this manga's getting good. But I find the goblin research very fascinating. I'm liking that we're learning the anatomy of the goblins, and that they're really not that different from us anatomically speaking. But the other thing I thought that was fascinating was the possible origin for the hobgoblins. That the hobgoblins come up north because, as was said, when you're in the cold weather, creatures end up becoming bigger to adapt to it. So I like that aspect. So Goblin Slayer getting some interesting knowledge. I'm curious if we're going to get to the origins of the true origins of the goblins in this manga or not, or if that's going to be something that's in Goblin Slayer, the main manga, or the main story, I should say. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. if you love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive so I could keep bringing you more Goblin Slayer content. There's a few ways you could do that. You can donate to my PayPal, Patreon, GoFundMe, purchase something on my Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, friend me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later.